I'll start with the middle school report. I just have two additions to my report. One is a spring conference attendance total for you. We were at 72% for our spring conferences. That's down about 3% from last spring. The reason that I say that is it's very hard to compare fall conference numbers to spring conference numbers. There's always quite a fluctuation there. We noticed a pretty big decrease in 7th, but more 8th grade conference percentages as far as attendance is concerned. Our 5th and 6th grade were quite high. And then the other addition is on April 22nd, all of our 8th grade girls are going to attend a Math, Science, and Technology Careers Conference in Ames. That is something traditionally we've tried to do. Last year we were not able to get into that because of an overabundance of registrations, but this year we did get in. We just recently found out about that. One piece of feedback also, we've gone a month with the extended school days, or last time that you guys met, we enacted that. The first week was a little bit of getting used to and some tiredness out of kids, but really that's went very well. You really don't notice, you don't notice it, in all honesty. So the extended school days went well, and I think probably from talking with some parents and especially talking with some students come May 28th, I think they're all going to be very appreciative of what you've done.
I have one comment on that.
Yes.
Some of the buses get to the school pretty early.
Yeah.
Can there be any adjustment on that? Adjusting? I mean, I heard through that, and I don't know if it's accurate, that one bus driver was going to move her times back 10 minutes.
Okay.
But,
We'll get kids at the middle school. The first bus, 7:20,
yeah,
comes to the middle school.
And then they sit there.
Yep. Yep. I don't know what that means as far as transportation is concerned, as far as picking kids up. That'd have to be a conversation that I'd have with them.
Okay. And I don't know what that bus driver does after she leaves them there, but I'm just thinking.
Is that 20 minutes earlier than they would have typically been there?
Yeah. Probably, well, yeah. Range-ish, 15-ish, somewhere there.
Kenny, the numbers that are down here for bullying and harassment,
Yep.
is that out of the norm?
Honestly, the numbers that I put down were surely just referral numbers. I don't think it's necessarily out of the norm. Most of our harassment, bullying issues that we deal with don't necessarily go to formal procedures. It's a name was called here, it was witnessed, and there's a discipline that's applied to it, rather than a full-scale investigation where multiple witnesses have to be called in, talked through. I think it's more predominant this year at the middle school than what it has been. Yeah. I don't think there's any question.
I've had conversations this month from everybody from parents to attorneys to law enforcement to even medical community and even the churches about things that are going on with middle school kids. And it's going to be an uphill battle, but we need to get a hold of this because it's affecting the whole community.
It's a difficult thing to be dealing with. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And rarely is there a day that goes by where there aren't 2 or 3 issues that are being dealt with.
It's just something that we need to take care of. I mean, everybody, when I get business people calling me because things happen in churches and places like that, it's like, okay, well, that's not our responsibility. However, it goes back to the behavior problem that we have.
But you'd be surprised how many things happen out there that carry over into the school, and as well as just parents calling saying you need to be aware this happened last night, so that as a preventative, which is a great heads up for us just to be on the lookout of things.
And we have 8th graders paying 6th graders to do the video, so it ought to be real interesting in places.
What's that?
We have 8th graders paying 6th graders to learn how to be bullies now, so, and cause them damage, I guess. So I've had some real odd conversations this month, but it's not that it hasn't gone on for a long time, and some of these problems I think will probably move on to Kevin, hopefully. Yours will be easier.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kevin will get him admitted in this time.
So you're saying that there are 8th graders paying 6th graders to do anything at school?
At churches and around the communities and stuff. It's the same group, yeah.
But things that happen at school, I guess I'm just
I-
curious.
It hasn't all happened at school, but it's everywhere. And I think people are just fed up.
I think the classes that aren't the 8th or the 5th grade, they're really fed up with the two. The students, very frustrated. And that's not fair to them. Absolutely not fair to those other kids.
To kids that aren't causing them problems.
Right.
I know, it's not right. I don't like the fact that the medical community tells me how many kids are out there with medical problems because of this.
Medical,
Stress to the
mental,
max.
mental problems?
Stress to the max. Ulcers, you name it, all kinds of stuff. And it's like, that's enough.
You know, this is a good point, because I was going to bring up the girl in Massachusetts, A.B. Prince. There's 9 kids that are getting prosecuted for her death. She killed herself. I don't know if anybody heard about this, but she had been bullied for years. And one day, somebody drove by her and said, "Why don't you go kill yourself?" She went and hung herself. Now 9 kids are getting prosecuted for that. Now, I don't think it hurts to tell our kids this stuff.
Probably
I don't think they know.
They don't listen.
If you tell them once, but if you keep telling them.
I think honestly, and maybe this isn't the place for it, but I think who's telling them is the problem. When there might be other kids related that are one of the biggest problems in the school. Does that make sense? I think the kids take that and just toss it right out the window because they have no respect. Just my opinion.
Well, that's it in a nutshell. They don't have respect for the kids, and they don't have respect for what he says, and he's just battling and battling that.
But will they have respect for hey, I may go to jail?
Well, you know,
Because these kids are 16 years old, and they could go to jail. 16, 15, 16, 17 years old. I wouldn't want to be in jail.
Paying off problems that are occurring is not helping any of us. And so it's a huge concern to me, and like I said, it's come from the business community, the churches, medical, law enforcement, everybody.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter where you're at. I hear about it too all the time. It's not necessarily somebody coming up to me and saying, this kid did this, or it's just bullying in general. You hear about it everywhere.
and you see the thing about it is words don't mean anything to them. It's just like water through a screen. So the only thing they can understand is firmness, and it's sad that you have to go to that firmness, but there's no other option.
And we're not just
Part of the problem.
condemning the middle school,
No.
just overall, we have a problem, so.
Another thing that's sad is that parents, ministers, law enforcement, doctors all point their fingers at the school, and we're supposed to solve the problem. You know, first we had the job of educating kids, and pretty soon we got into transporting. So now we're in the transportation business. Now we're in the food service business. And it just goes on and on and on. There are more things that the school has to do for the public that they don't do for themselves. And if things aren't going perfect in society, it ultimately comes to rest on the school's front steps. We're the ones that aren't getting the job done. Isn't parents, isn't ministers, isn't anybody else that's not getting the job done. It's the school.
Somehow we need to figure out how we can all work together to stop this.
Exactly.
Yeah.